the whole earth. And it will soon be the only kingdom. Nothing can stop the progress of the gospel. In the growth of this kingdom, it has always prevailed against all opposition, and it will always do so. As another is written, Christians can be burned alive, as done by Nero, thrown to the wild animals in amphitheaters, or exiled to the islands. They can be shut up in dungeons or publicly executed at Smithfield, as many of our forefathers were. Nothing done to them stops their number from increasing. The blood of the martyrs proves to be the seed of the church. There is no need for any of us to fear for the future of Christ's cause. God's ark is going along very well, and we do not need to put out our hands to steady it. The future of Christ's kingdom is secure as the promises of this chapter. His kingdom cannot fail. What an encouragement, brothers and sisters. I read recently about 42 evangelists from the Wolalita tribe in southwestern Ethiopia. They wanted to take the gospel to other tribes in a region called Gofa. You know what they did? These men, these 42 evangelists, they moved their families to Gofa. They just took up and moved there. They built houses there. They planted crops. They had their new neighbors in. They preached the gospel. They shared the gospel with them. And some of them believed and received Jesus Christ as their Savior. Prayer houses were built where they met for fellowship and worship. But too many changes took place to suit the authorities, the powers that be in that place. Converts no longer went to the witch doctors, no longer paid the priest tax to the Orthodox priests, no longer slipped bribes to the government officials or for different things, for needs or favors. So a police lieutenant arrested one of the evangelists, Otero, chained his wrists together, clamped his ankles together in heavy iron rings so he could only hop but not walk. And he paraded Otero in front of, he took him down to the marketplace and he paraded him in front of the market day crowd, and he let it be known that this is what would happen to anyone who followed this, quote, new religion, unquote. He ordered Otero, go back to Wolalita and take your Jesus thing with you. We don't want Jesus here. Otero hopped forward, and this is what he said. He said, "Oh, sir, listen. Please listen. I can go, but the gospel will stay. By the power of God, I planted Jesus in Gofa. He is planted in the hearts and souls of the Gofa people. I can go, but Jesus will stay." As if Otero was saying to one of the rulers of this age, there are some things you can change, but some you can't. Some are irreversible, even for those who are in power. I planted Jesus in Gofa, and He will stay. And listen, God's kingdom sometimes appears very weak in the world. Sometimes it seems very vulnerable, like nothing more than a little small stone, a little pebble. It can look pretty flimsy, planted in this or that country or region or town, but God has planted His kingdom there. And that kingdom will never be uprooted. It will stay. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. And beginning when Christ came, He planted His kingdom in the earth, and it will stay, and it will spread, and it will ultimately conquer, and no one can do anything to stop it. But you know, my friend here today, you know what's the most important thing? The most important thing for you is whether or not you are part of that kingdom. Whether or not you have entered into that kingdom that will never fail. Jesus said, except a man be born again,